matter of great pleasure that we have. So it's a matter of great pleasure that we have our eminent scholar, Dr. Anandaji Bhavanani joined us. I request Dr. Anandaji to kindly felicitate Dr. Anandaji. I'll make a short introduction to Dr. Bhavanani. We hope that he is such a wonderful and such a known personality in the Balaji. Okay, so Dr. Yogacharya, Dr. Bhavanani is the director of Institute of Salutogenesis and Complementary Medicine and professor of yoga therapy at the Sri Balaji Vidyapeeth University. He has served as a member of numerous expert committees of Ministry of Ayush, including its steering committees, National Board for Promotion of Yoga and Naturopathy, Scientific Advisory Committee, and many others. A recipient of the covered DSc in Yoga from East Vasa Yoga University, and he is the chairman of the International Center for Yoga Education and Research at Ananda Ashram, Pondicherry, and Yoganjali Natyalaya, the premier Institute of Yoga and Carnatic Music and Bharatanatyam in Pondicherry. So I hope it is. I feel very privileged to introduce Dr. Anand Bhavanani. We have a long connections. When this International Yoga Day happened in 2016, for your information, India got another recognition, that is India's yoga included under the intangible cultural heritage humanity. The fourth element which was included in India, that is the Vedic chanting, rather than the Sankirtan, the Buddhist Sankirtan, and the Chow dance, many others. When this yoga was included under the intangible cultural heritage list, I was one of the members, and Dr. Anandaji Bhavanani also. So, sir, we request, we are very honored to have your presence here. We have shared many occasions, especially the Siddha conference, your ideas, especially addressing the spiritual heritage of this land. We look forward for your session today and to work more on the collection. Thank you so much.
Yes.
So I request Dr. Anandaji, his topic is Salutogenesis and Yoga Therapy.
Please hold it. Very difficult to tag. Cannot be captured. First of all, thank you everyone for a very wonderful event that is going on. I give my respects to my own yoga research guru, Madan Mohan sir. I offer my gratitude to Pachigonkar sir, Tiwariji, Tripathi, the whole team here, the Tejaswini, all the young ones, who are the energy behind it. Purusha can do whatever he wants, but Prakriti has to manifest it. So we have the three Prakriti Shaktis, and pleasure to listen to Aurobindo who's guiding them. We always look at the Aurobindo star for guidance, and today you have given us some guidance here. All our wonderful team here, and I would like to also acknowledge Dr. Balaji as General Secretary of IYA Puducherry chapter, manifesting this, and of course we have Ma'am, Art of Living. Nice to have you again, ma'am, and everyone who's here. I was going to show you another PPT. But that PPT on salutogenesis in yoga therapy, I did yesterday in the Siddha conference in Chennai. I have done it about 6-7 times and I said I don't want to repeat that. You can see it on slideshare. So this I am going to give tomorrow night for the first time for the International Association of Yoga Therapists. And I said let me give it to you before that. Because it should get released in Bharat before it goes Videshi. So Swadeshi before Videshi. It's the trailer. Yogena chittasya padena vacham malam sharirasya cha vaidyakena yopakarotam dhavaram muninam padanjalim pranjaliranatosmi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hare Om. So the message here is basically the same as salutogenesis in yoga therapy, but it is in a different bottle packaging. Illness to wellness through yoga chikitsa. Can I have the next slide? I'll just keep saying next. We can go on to the next one. Next. I would like to begin with a statement from the line of Puducherry, the line of the yoga world, Swami Geetananda Giri, my beloved father and guru. And he said, health and happiness are your birthright. Learn and live yoga, for then you will know true health and happiness. It's not only doing yoga, learning and living yoga. Yoga is something to be lived, and of course Maharishi Aurobindo said the same thing, all life is yoga. There is no separation between life and yoga. Next please. Maybe Bala, if you come there maybe better, because you are used to me. He will struggle to know when to go to the next one. Because there are 75 slides, so I'm going to go through them a little faster except for a few points. What is wellness? Now when you look at wellness, it is the active pursuit. Please note the word active. Okay, so you have to do something about it. You have to expend some energy. That is why we don't do it, because we are lazy. Active pursuit of activities, choices and lifestyles that lead to a state of holistic health. That is what wellness is. And wellness is a paradigm, because you have the illness-wellness continuum. They are not just the opposite side of the coin. There's a huge in-between. And I'm going to come back to this again, but you look at the treatment paradigm. The treatment paradigm only looks at sign, symptom and disability, but the wellness paradigm, which is salutogenesis, looks at beyond that awareness, education and growth. We don't neglect pathogenesis, we include it, but we go beyond it. So key elements are holistic nature, the context and the relevance that is there, equity and access for all, key elements which include the adaptive capacity. How well can you adapt? Adaptability is the most important aspect of survival, not fitness. What is fitness? Adaptability. Continuous process, not static, and it is the self-responsibility. Somebody else will not do it for us. We have to do it for ourselves. Do it yourself. So wellness is to be yourself. That is our Indian context. Swasthya is when you are being yourself, you are well. If you are not yourself, you are unwell. Simple. See that? Going to the next one. And so it should be seen as a holistic, human-centered experience and not a mechanical process. We are not looking at a mechanical process. What are you going to do about it? No. How are you going to be it? And we have to look at wellness versus cure, because wellness and cure are not the same. There's a huge difference between them. And if you look at it, I will say wellness is care and cure is on the other side. Now today so many of us are part of the healthcare system. I'm sorry to say, healthcare system has no health left in it, and healthcare system has no care left in it. We have become disease careless. This is actually where we are. We have to refocus on health. We have to refocus on caring for the care seeker who comes to us. And that is where humanistic comes in. So when we talk about wellness, there is a biological dimension, there is a psychological dimension, there is a socio-environmental dimension. This year's topic Theme of Yoga Day is one earth, one health. We are not separate from the universe in which we live. We are not separate from the planet. Or you want to be healthy, I don't care about you. I cannot be healthy if you are not healthy. I cannot be healthy if the plants are not healthy. I cannot be healthy if the microbes are not healthy, because we know the human microbiome is at least 9 times more cells than the human cells. So who's the most important one? Microbes or us? Well, microbes should be healthy. If microbes are not healthy, you are not healthy, as simple as that. Similarly, the spiritual dimension that is often missed in healthcare and work cultural dimension, the sense of community, your values should come together. This is where our Swadeshi Baba has all of this already ingrained in it. Now we have to take it to the Videshi and make it a universal Baba. That is when India will become a true Vishwa Guru. Till then, we can have the high GDP, we can be the third largest economy, doesn't matter until and unless oneness occurs. Next one. So that was wellness. What is illness? It is a subjective experience of disease, how it affects your existence, your identity and your life. That is what illness is. Not just a diagnosis. And illness and disability. Illness can lead to disability and disability can cause illness. This is the psychosomatic and somatopsychic relationship between disability and illness. And the perspective could be a person's experience of loss, it could be the disease where they want professional help, or sickness where they look at it with a social dimension. There is the empirical ethical perspective where we look that each patient's view is different from each other. No two patients of diabetes have the same experience. No two patients of asthma have the same experience, but we want standard protocols. There is no standard human being, so there cannot be standard protocols. There has to be personalized protocols. And again, life-oriented. We are looking at living well with illness. You have illness, okay. You may not be able to eradicate the diabetes. Can you live to the best of your ability despite the diabetes, despite the cancer, despite the asthma, so that you feel a sense of wellness even if the disease is still there in you? A very important aspect which yoga looks at. Yoga looks at disease as an imbalance of the Triguna, the Tridosha and the Dvadasha prana, 12 types of prana, the 5 prana, 5 upa prana and 2 para prana that normally people miss. Only my father talks about it, that are part of the whole cognitive process. And of course, Panchamaya Kosha model that already Allopathy has so beautifully reminded us of. When we look at disease from a yogic perspective, K. and Udupa at BHU about 5 decades ago gave us this very beautiful manifestation. First, it starts with the psychic phase. You are not at ease with yourself. It is primarily an imbalance at Vijnana Maya and Manomaya. Becomes psychosomatic, which is a temporary agitation of your physiological system. Your blood pressure goes up today, but tomorrow is normal. Your blood sugar is high this week, next week is normal. This is the psychosomatic phase. Psychic and psychosomatic yoga can work as a single monotherapy. But then you come to somatic, it starts to become permanent. Whenever you check your BP, it is high. Whenever you check your blood sugar, it is high. All your parameters are abnormal all the time. It has become somatic. And if that continues, it damages your organs. This is not the good organic food organic. This is target organ damage, TOD, that we talk about in medicine. Maharishi Patanjali says the whole problem of being human is because of the Panchaklesha. We do not remember who we are. We have selective amnesia. We have forgotten we are that Ishvara. So I like to say that we are Ishvara with amnesia. That is actually who we are. Ishvara with amnesia. That amnesia causes avidya. That avidya causes asmita. So you have a false sense of identification. Because of the false sense of identification, you start to develop perceived like and dislike, and you want that identity to survive at any cost. You will go to any extent, and this is the struggle of the human existence. Nobody has described this to the level that Maharishi Patanjali has described. He is the best psychotherapist of all times. And again, Maharishi Patanjali is not in the past. You say, what you are saying? Maharishi Patanjali is from the future. He is a time traveler who went back into the past. He is in the present also. He is in the future also. The Yoga Sutras are as applicable today as they were applicable when it was taught at least 3,000 years ago and put into the written form 2,500 to 2,000 years ago. Written form was 2,500 years ago. They were beyond that. Next one. So, what is illness? I want. Give me more. Ye dil mange more. That is illness. You are never satisfied. You are given 1 cup of mango juice, you want 2. You are given 2 biscuits, you want 4. You are given 1 scooter, you want a car. You are given the car, you want a Mercedes Benz. You are given a Mercedes Benz, you are still not happy. Why? Greed. And that greed is the biggest issue. As Gandhiji so rightly put, there is enough on this planet to satisfy every person's need. Not enough to satisfy even one person's greed. That is greed, and that is why Asteya, Aparigraha are such an essential part of Yoga Abhyasa that are normally forgotten. Standing on your head is very nice. When I talk about all of this, I get 500 likes on Instagram. When I stand on my head, I get 5,000 likes. Because people can only relate to that externalized aspect of yoga. They have forgotten living yoga is more important than doing yoga. But doing yoga is nice on Instagram. So Instagram yoga, the new mutant variety, where you just look at the camera all the time. Find the good angle. So we want to go from I want, which is illness, to we serve. The Seva Bhavana, that we are not the doer, we are the tool. Narayana Bhava, Narayana, Arpana Bhava and Nimitta Bhava is what our culture teaches us. I am the tool, I am not the doer. I have been given an opportunity to serve. May I serve to the best of my capacity. That is the Bhava with which all our rishis worked. Nobody was looking for a Nobel Peace Prize. When Sri Aurobindo gave his teachings or Mother gave her teachings, they were not looking for the Nobel Peace Prize. That is not what they wanted. They deserve it more than all those people who got it. But people don't understand that and they don't care about it. The truly spiritually realized masters don't care about all this recognition that I want illness. We serve. Now, Salutogenesis, which is my primary topic as the director of the institute, it is looking at a positive state of health. We are promoting positive health. Guruji, Nagendraji and Didi Nagaratnaji, so many years ago I have talked about this concept of promoting positive health. That is what yoga does. It is not just mitigating negative health, but promoting positive health. It's a huge leap, a transformational leap that they are looking at. So a stressor comes in, you have a certain tension. How you respond to that tension either makes it go on a salutogenic pathway, promoting positive health, or pathogenic pathway, degenerating into disability and death. Perception is how it works. So Anandaji, he coined this term. And this is in the 70s, he came upon this term. He said everybody is focusing on pathology, on disease. Nobody is focusing on health and wellness. How did he come to this? It is a very interesting story. He is a Jewish gentleman and he was very concerned as an Israeli and a Jewish at what had happened to all the people during the Holocaust, the Nazi concentration camps and the Holocaust. So he was studying in the 70s post-menopausal women and depression. So he was studying depression in post-menopausal women who had gone through the Holocaust. And what did he find? 55% of the women, post-menopausal women, had depression. What do we researchers normally do nowadays? We take that, we do appropriate statistical analysis, ANOVA, ANCOVA, randomized control group, t-test, We get one nice p value less than 0.05, 0.01, 0.001. We write a paper, try to publish in a Scopus Index journal, because all UGC, all NIRF, all NAC wants Scopus indexed. I'm sorry to say, Scopus is a scandal, it is a scam. PubMed is the good one. It is always the gold standard, because PubMed is free, Scopus is paid. The moment it is paid, you know business interests are there, finished. What did he do? He did not look at the 55. He looked at why 45% did not have depression. 55% of the women had depression. Why did 45 not have depression? This is the difference between a good researcher and a great researcher. The good researcher looks for p-value. The great researcher goes beyond p-value. And in front of me, I have the greatest yoga researcher, Mother Monson. Such a pleasure to have been nurtured by him with these values. And he said, why they don't have? And then he said, they are well despite the experience of the Holocaust, because they have factors that induce wellness. So he said, what are those factors? That was his journey into salutogenesis. So Salus, health, genesis, source of health. And it has three components. The heart of salutogenesis is a sense of coherence. And coherence is cognitive. My world is understandable. I can understand my world. That is the first one. My world is manageable. I can manage my world. I can manage the challenges of life. And the third, my world has meaning. I can understand, I can manage, and it has meaning. If these three are there, salutogenesis is there. Most of the time, these three are not there. Sir, I don't know what is happening in my life, sir. कोई मतलब नहीं sir. समझदार नहीं है. I cannot understand it. என்ன பண்றது தெரியல sir. எப்படி manage பண்றது தெரியல. I don't know how to manage it. And sir, என் லைஃப்ல என்ன sir purpose? வாழ்ந்து என்ன sir பிரயோஜனம்? What is the use of being alive? What is the use of this? All of this is the lack of the sense of coherence or a sense of discoherence. So pathogenesis is looking at disease, and you are trying to stay alive. That's all pathogenesis is looking at. How to keep us alive. How to give us a better life, a life worth living, is salutogenesis. And that is why that same continuum, pathogenesis to salutogenesis. Asatoma, Sadgamaya, Tamasoma, Jyotirgamaya, Mrityorma, Amritangamaya, pathogenesis, salutogenesis, Gamaya. That is the new mantra addition to that. And that is my new addition. Pathogenesis to salutogenesis, Gamaya. That is where we need to go. From dukkha to sukha. That is where the whole journey is. Yes. And for this you need resources. These resources are called general resistance resources, and yoga as a lifestyle is a resistance resource. It gives you the tools. It gives you the tools in the form of the Ashtanga. It gives you the tools of Kriya Yoga. It gives you the tools of Nada Anusandhana. It gives you the amazing tool of Dharana Dhyana. It gives you the most important tool that is never practiced, Pratyahara. Without Pratyahara, there cannot be anything else. Today everybody wants to sit and meditate. They come to me, Doctor Sir, teach me meditation. I'm like, why do you want to learn meditation? Because somebody said it is easy. I'm like, Bhaiya, it's easier to stand on your head for 10 minutes rather than sit and meditate. It is difficult, but we think just sitting quietly is meditation. Sitting quietly is sitting quietly. That is why I have a t-shirt which has a famous statement. My student made a t-shirt. It says, sitting for meditation is not meditation. Sitting for meditation is not meditation. It is the start of it. You start to contemplate. When that flow becomes uninterrupted, like the Tailadhara, like the oil flowing through the wick for that illumination, then it becomes dhyana. And in dhyana, you are not there anymore. Ammaji used to say, my beloved mother, she used to say, everyone wants to be perfect. But we realize that no one can be perfect. In meditation, in dhyana, you become no one. And hence in dhyana, you become perfect. What a beautiful flow. No one is perfect. In dhyana, you become no one. You are not You are not there. So if you say, I am sitting in meditation, you are definitely not meditating. You may be concentrating, but you are not meditating. It may be dharana, it is not dhyana. And of course, if you say, I am in samadhi right now and you put it on Instagram live, definitely you are not in samadhi, I can tell you that. Next one. So what is yoga chikitsa, yoga therapy? Yoga and yoga therapy. Yoga therapy is not separate, it is not greater than yoga. Please understand. Today people think it is something separate, it is not. It is a small circle within the big circle. And this is why the earlier definition which Ayurveda had was empowering the individuals to improve health and well-being through the teachings and practices of yoga. They have now updated it, which they brought in the word professional application because they want to be recognized as a profession in the USA. Principles and practices of yoga, it is not asana therapy. Yoga therapy is not asana therapy, please understand that. The principles of yoga have to be brought in. The philosophy, the psychology, the spirituality of yoga has to be given to that individual. Otherwise it is therapy but not yoga therapy. And one step. Personalized assessment. Each individual is treated as they are. Goal setting, lifestyle management and yoga practices usually for individuals or small groups. I gave yoga therapy to 5,000 people. You cannot. Maybe you can give yoga awareness to 5,000 people at one time. Common yoga protocol gives awareness of yoga. It is not even a practice of yoga in my kind of personalized opinion. I was part of that in 2014 when we created the protocol. Recently we revised it. Now we are creating a new protocol for people who are flying for long distance. Protocols are good for awareness. Okay, it's only awareness and that is good. But don't think even it is a yoga practice because everybody is looking at their neighbor. They want to see whether Prime Minister Modi ji is doing it or not. They want to be as close to him on the next yoga mat. That's all. The yoga part is hidden, but awareness is there. So that is good. Next one. So when we talk about health, this is again borrowed from Guruji Nagendraji with some modification. Subhuman level is where we are. They used to call it animal level. I love animals, so I replaced it with subhuman. A dog is an excellent dog. A cat is an excellent cat. Are we humans excellent humans? And the answer is, well, a big question mark. I won't say no, I'll put a big question mark. Subhuman level to human level to humane level, and finally we are trying to go towards that highest divinity, which is our actual reality. A lot of books have come out. There's a nice publication from MD Nevai as part of the WHO Collaborative Center, where we brought out consumer information on proper use of yoga. It's a very beautiful document. It is available, PDF is available online, which gives a very good overview of yoga in the context of overall health. Again, the Indian Yoga Association, and I'm so happy that the Pondicherry chapter is part of this event today and taking it forward. We have created a recognition system for Yoga Chikitsa. Yoga Chikitsa Sahayaka, Yoga Chikitsa Acharya, Yoga Chikitsaka and Yoga Chikitsa Ratna. And a cycle program. It is a continuous Yoga Chikitsa learning education. Now 17 months without a break we have had it on the first Sunday of every month, where the pioneers have been giving us amazing insights in growing. I'm going to take it up to 5 years, 60 sessions which will be recorded and study material is my goal. IAYT, we can go on to the next one. PubMed, as I said, gold standard 9,258 2 days ago for yoga therapy. So not too bad, okay? Soon we'll hit the 10,000 mark, 10K mark, and we'll put an Instagram post. Alternative medicine. Now, I really hate this term, but we use it a lot. Alternate means either you or me. So if I say Dr. Pramila is there, either Dr. Pramila should be in the room or Dr. Ananda should be in the room. This is alternate. We will not let that happen, don't worry. That is alternate, either you or me. The next part is complement. Complement. This is not compliment. You compliment somebody. Dr. Pramila is looking very gorgeous today. Very nice sari, madam. That is compliment. We complement each other means we enhance the impact of each other. We make each other better. That is complement. And all the Ayurvedic systems, the Indian systems of medicine are complementary. They are not alternative. We made a big mistake in putting them as alternative, and so IMA and IYA will be fighting, IMA and Homeopathy will be fighting, IMA and Siddha will be fighting. There is no need for any fight at all. We can all coexist very beautifully. And that is why this goes to the next level, which is integrative. The future is integrative. So alternative is you or me. Complementary is you and me. Integrative is us. And that is the way we move. We have to move that way. And WHO is calling it traditional, complementary and integrative medicine, which is why at ISCM, Salutogenesis and complementary medicine, because we are part of a modern medical system, and hopefully in the next few years we'll change it to Institute of Salutogenesis and Integrative Medicine. ISCM will become ISIM. Let us see how that happens. Yoga Chikitsa is a therapeutic application of yoga. What are the tools? We use asana, pranayama, mudra, dharana, dhyana, yogic lifestyle. Mother Mohan sir used to say yoga is the best lifestyle ever designed for human being. And don't forget philosophical, psycho-spiritual concepts. We forget this when we talk of yoga chikitsa. Very important for yogic counseling. And we have to promote a dynamic equilibrium, and wellness is a state of holistic harmony. Dr. Anandaji was saying it, that holistic harmony is the state of wellness, and that is what yoga is. Samatvam yoga uchyate. That samatvam is what that harmony is. Again, when doing the yoga practices, what do? We give people one chart. In that chart, we have some slim, trim, young girl doing the asana. They are very flexible, they can do it, and we put that up on the chart. Our patient comes and sees it and say, in this lifetime I cannot do it, next lifetime I will come back for yoga therapy. I will go to allopathy, pop and pill, they don't tell me to do anything, pop and pill, finish. I tell them, please put real people on these charts.
Excellent, sir.
See, you have to look. When we did yoga for weight loss DVD, Balaji was there, I was there. We were doing so that people know that even if you have a little more BMI, you can still do it. That gives the confidence. If Balaji can do Vipavita Karani and Sarvangasana and Halasana, it will motivate the next person to try it. If Tejaswini does it, No, it's okay, I'm just pulling her leg. See, and that is why I say functionality is more important than form. You don't have to do that practice perfectly to get the benefit. You have to come into your best position. It is the functionality. What is the functionality of Paschimottanasana? It is a forward bend where the torso and the abdomen come close together to the thigh. As close to it as you get the benefit. Someone who cannot go down flat also will get the benefit by trying to do it to their best of ability. In fact, I say those who have a bit of an abdomen like Ganapati will get more benefit from Paschimottanasana than somebody slim and trim like Lord Muruga. Lord Muruga may not get as much benefit because he has a six-pack. With a six-pack, you don't get much Jata, Agni, pressure or Manipura Chakra or Samana Vayu pressure there. Ganapati will get lot of pressure because of his Tondi. Tondi ulla pillayar. Solopade Tondi ulla pillayar we say. You will get that pressure, you will get the benefit. But no, I don't, it doesn't look like Paschimottanasana. It doesn't have to look like it. Form is not important, functionality is important. Understand the principle of the practice, that is more important than what it looks like. What it feels like is more important. And that is why we are utilizing all the Panchamaya Kosha, the techniques are there. What do we want to do in Yoga Chikitsa? Reduce suffering. Dukkha Nivrati. That Dukkha Nivrati is very important. Don't worry about blood pressure, heart rate. That is secondary. Dukkha Nivrati. Are you reducing suffering? Are you restoring function? I cannot walk. Now with yoga I can walk. I couldn't cycle. Now with yoga I can cycle. I couldn't squat to go to the toilet in the morning. Now I can. I couldn't sit down to eat my meal. Now I can. That is more important. Then your HbA1c. HbA1c is okay, good. But what is more important is function. Because when a person can function optimally, they feel healthy. If they feel healthy, they will become healthy. And this is the mechanism we have to work on. Improved adaptability, and never forget, awaken the inner potential. Everyone is blessed. Every soul is potentially divine. But do we actualize it? That's a question mark. So yoga, chikitsa and salutogenesis, we are looking at physical well-being, mental, spiritual, social, and trying to go towards the samadosha, sama-agnischa, that has been described by Sushruta. Again, can pass through this. So what are some mechanisms? This is a first time I am using this slide and I am taking it forward, so I want to take just one moment on this. How are you moving from illness to wellness through yoga? One, you are disconnecting from suffering. What is the theoretical, what is the basis in our Shastra? Always look at the basis in our Shastra. Then you can embellish it with modern concepts, but don't just go for modern concepts. Tam vidya dukkha samyoga viyogam yoga sangitam. Your union with suffering, you are moving away from it. This is the only place where yoga is defined as disunion. Always we say yoga is union, body, mind, soul, individual, jivatma, paramatma, all that is baba, 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 it keeps on going. What is the only place where it is defined as disunion? Samyoga viyogam. Yoga as viyoga, yoga as separation from your tendency to hold on to your suffering. My disease, my cancer, my diabetes, my hypertension, my problem, my, you don't let go. Because it's now your property. And in India, we never let go of property. From the time of Mahabharata, biggest war is property. Even now, what Israel and Hamas, what is it? Property war. My. You have to let go of that my. Instead of saying my diabetes, the diabetes. Instead of my cancer, the cancer. Instead of my problem, the problem. This is the Vairagya. And the moment you step back from it, you can see it better. When you see it better, you can do something better about it. Second one, Abhyasa and Vairagya. See, everybody thinks, oh, if I relax, everything will be okay. But we don't know how to relax. Because we have not earned the relaxation. You have to earn the relaxation. That is why Spanda has to be there before Nishpanda occurs. Nishpanda without Spanda will never be Nishpanda. This is the basis of the SMED program, I believe, where there is activation followed by deactivation and Vyasa. The whole principle is the same. First you have to put, see, I am sitting in my garage with my car. First I have to press the accelerator, car gets moving. Once it's moving, I press the brake so that I can drive safely. If I sit in my garage and press the brake the whole morning, you think I can come here? I won't get out of the garage. If I only press the accelerator, what will happen? My neighbor's wall has been destroyed, my car is destroyed, I am fighting with him and I am not able to come here. So, only accelerator, nothing is achieved. Only brake, nothing is achieved. Brake followed by accelerator, nothing is achieved. Accelerator followed by brake, safe journey. That is why Patanjali has said, Abhyasa Vairagya Abhyam Tannirodha. Same thing by Yogeshwar Krishna. When Arjuna says, Chanchalam hi mana Krishna, he said, what can I do? He said, nothing, Abhyasa Vairagya. If Krishna and Patanjali say the same thing, you don't need any more studies on it. Next one, Avidya. The root cause, I talked about it. We are Ishvara with amnesia, forgotten who we are, hence the suffering. And the most important tool, what can I do about it? Pratipaksha Bhavana. Change your perspective. Change your narrative. Reframe your narrative. Instead of saying, I am the victim, I am suffering, I have a problem, change it. Next one. I'm going to end in another few minutes. We all know this, yoga is not just something you do, it is a whole lifestyle, achar, vichar, ahar, vihar, and never forget the fifth one, vyavahara. Your relationships are very important. How do you relate to yourself, intrapersonal, interpersonal, transpersonal? With yourself, with others, with the universe. All relationships are important. And the whole stress response starts when you perceive something as stressful, your limbic system comes into play. Your poor hypothalamus is like this poor guy and surrounded by all those ladies shouting at him. I'm sorry, it may be a bit gender insensitive, I take it back. But it is this one person surrounded by many persons around them. Okay, now it's better. And they are all shouting at that person gets very agitated. Hypothalamus gets agitated because of limbic volatility. Emotional volatility, limbic overactivation, hypothalamus secretes releasing hormone, pituitary, adrenals, and your gone case. Because whole hypothalamus pituitary axis. What happens? You are converting distress to eustress. Distress to eustress gamaya. That's to add to pathogenesis, salutogenesis, gamaya. Distress becomes eustress when you remove yourself from it. As long as you are in it, it is distress. When you remove yourself from it, it is eustress. And eustress will enable you to become a better version of yourself, H positive. Distress is H minus, H positive is eustress, again salutogenesis or Antonovsky. Next one. Healing response. Stress will retard healing. Stress will never let healing occur. So you have to reduce the stress response, enhance the relaxation response, facilitate the healing response. This is the whole equation. Now, Madan Mohan sir is here. He is a greatest physiologist and he will not accept what I say, but it's okay, sir. He will always teach stress response. I say stress is not a response, it is a reaction. Relaxation is a response. Because response means you are thinking about it, you are using your power of choice. In stress, there is no choice. See, before stress occurs, there is a choice. Whether you let yourself, I say nothing can stress you if you don't let it stress you. You let it stress you, after that you have no control. Once the limbic system comes into play, once your hypothalamus comes into play, the horse has bolted, you are still standing there thinking what to do. And whether to go to the police or not, you are thinking. Before that you can do. Relaxation is an active process. Stress is usually passive. In the sense of you don't have control over it. You are changing that, and that is why inversely proportional to stress response. So are you going to choose stress or relaxation? Let us go on to the next one. Next one. I'll just keep this for a moment. Again, we are often in yoga therapy forgetting spirituality. And that is why the whole spiritual mechanism is health promotive behavior and lifestyle, social support, psychodynamics of rituals. Rituals are not bad. And there are positive samskara, Shodasha samskara we have in our culture because it is a positive impact of ritual. Psychodynamics of cognitive schemata, how do you recognize and think of the world around you? And supernatural effects, well, there are the whole Vibhuti Pada is filled with a lot of that. And it all brings about an enhanced quality of life, physical, functional well-being, spiritual well-being, pro-social attitude. We talk about anti-social, asocial, we want pro-social, and that is why yoga as a spiritual tool must always be remembered. Go on to the next one. Again, personal sadhana. Madan Mohan sir keeps pushing me, and nowadays he cannot push me because there is a very well documented personal sadhana, but then he says you are pushing yourself too much physically, so that also I am taking into mind. What is important is your sadhana gives you authentic healing energy. Without your sadhana, see, it is different. A medical doctor can give you a paracetamol without taking it. He can give you an injection of atropine without taking it himself. But a yoga therapist, a yoga chikitsaka, without their own personal sadhana, authentic healing will not be there. Second thing is you gain the wisdom to guide others because you have experienced it. You know what it feels like, so you can guide them in a very authentic wisdom. And third, non-judgmental presence. I tell you, the most important part of healing is your presence. That is the best thing. Your presence should be the therapy. You should become the therapy, not just give the therapy. When they meet you, they should feel healed in your presence. That comes only with sadhana. Next one. Next, keep on going. This is fast one, go on. Here I'm just talking again. Sir, even though I didn't know whether you would be here or not, see this. Wow. Sir, you're not even looking at the slides.
Yes.
Who is that, sir? A pioneer. For the last, from Jipmer in the early 70s, when Sir joined, 1983, the first paper on yoga from Jipmer, one of the first papers, which was Salutogenesis pranayama in Shavasana, published in the Yoga Review of the Indian Academy of Yoga. And sir kept on bringing the yoga into the medical curriculum. What beautiful, that Shavasana bliss they are all in, and sir is sitting there, and he is also in half a Shavasana in the chair. He is enjoying that. That is today continuing at ISCM with all our yoga therapy for so many stakeholders. India is not just the cities, India is our villages. And we are taking yoga to all our villages also. The yoga pyasa keep going, the research lab keep going. Huge number of publications, and all the publications are available for free download on our website. We believe that caring is sharing, sharing is caring. And Dilip Dada calling it 21st century medicine is one of the greatest compliments we could get. Future vision, we want universal healing modality, and I think most important, let it be inclusive and all encompassing. Nobody should be left out of the sequence. And concluding, yoga is a 2T formula. It should be transformative and transcendental. The 2 T's of yoga. This is, people talk about AI, so nowadays I play around with them. Ananda intelligence. From disease to ease, chaos to harmony, imbalance to balance, reaction to response, yoga to yoga, separation to connection, cure to care, conflict to coherence. This is the journey of illness to wellness, pathogenesis to salutogenesis, looking at holistic healing, a shift to salutogenesis, restoring balance, integration with modern healthcare, and the ultimate aim, don't forget, is self-realization. So thank you very much for giving me this opportunity and bringing my vision for all of us. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Anandaji. It was really a wonderful presentation.
Artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
Artificial intelligence.
Much more time is needed to address such issues, and we are running short of time. It was really a wonderful talk, Dr. Anandaji. Yeah, we are running short of time, so 20 minutes, we will stick to the time because